knew who Judas was. He knew the mess he would become. He knew that he was going to thief. Remember, Judas used to thief out the church money, you know. He knew all of that. But guess what? There was a purpose for Judas's mindset, behavior, and betrayal. It was necessary, for there needed to be a mole in the camp. There needed to be someone on the inside who was going to make the connection with the persons who wanted to kill him. Because he couldn't afford that there's not that connection, because he had to die. The only reason he was born was to die the death on the cross. And so he needed to make sure that the connection was there. And that is why even when it is the other 60 walk away, Judas was there. And that is why he called Judas friend. Oh, you're not talking to me. He looked on Judas and called Judas friend. And called Peter Satan. Oh, you ain't talking to me. You don't get it. Why? Because Judas's hatred of what was being accomplished, Judas's envy and discontent, which would have caused him to betray Jesus, was working for Jesus, working God's will out, as opposed to Peter's love for Jesus that sought to keep Jesus alive. Oh, you don't understand. In other words, sometimes your enemy is more your friend than your friend. Sometimes your friend is your enemy and your enemy is your friend. Because if your love for me is blocking my purpose, then you will become an enemy. That's why Peter was called Satan. Get behind me, Satan. Because what? Because Satan was able to be manipulating his emotions to try to keep Jesus from dying. He never meant Jesus no harm. He really just loved him and didn't want him to die. But that was going against God's will. And wicked, thieving, conniving, envious Judas was more in God's will. Because at this point, Jesus needs to die. And Judas was helping the process. And so Jesus looked on him and said, friend. When Judas accepted the call, it wasn't in Judas's mind at that point to betray Jesus. Judas was a worshiper. And Judas wanted to be a disciple. But the Lord knew that he would not be genuinely converted. The Lord knew that the things in him, the negative things in him, would overshadow and would take precedence over that desire to be a disciple. And the Lord says, I need one of you in my 12. Because it was important to have one, not in the 72, not in the 120, not in the multitude, but in close quarters. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And for more, join us at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings at 10 Union Square, Crossroads. If you can't be there in person, join us virtually via Facebook Live.